If you're so talkative, why don't you play the piano yourself? Come on, everyone's watching. You must be really good, huh? Right here in the middle of the street? My name is Shayla. I'm a woman in my 30s, married for 8 years, and living in a single-family home with my 4-year-old daughter and husband. Since graduating from music college, I've been performing as a musician, taking turns with my husband, who is also a performer, to raise our child. Until she turned 3, it was my husband's turn. Since last year, it's been mine. Now I'm taking a break from work to focus on raising our daughter. Recently, she started attending piano lessons. Not that we were forcing her, but maybe it's because my husband and I often play music at home. She naturally became interested in instruments and asked to go to music school. So, our days of dropping off and picking up our daughter from kindergarten and the local piano school began. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I was happy to play a duet with Brenda.
I see. When I was a child, I was taught by a strict piano teacher and went through a period where I hated music itself. So, I want Amber to love music first, rather than just improving her skills. My husband shares the same belief. Amber, it seems like you're enjoying playing the piano. Is Shayla okay? Don't push yourself too hard. Yeah, I'm fine. Well, I say that to my husband, that's actually one thing that's been bothering me. There's a strange person among the parents at the piano school. I noticed it when I was invited to the house of Brenda, a friend of my daughter. Oh, welcome. I've been looking forward to meeting you. At first, she seemed like a plump, friendly person. However, that impression changed immediately after seeing her attitude towards her daughter, Brenda. She suddenly grabbed Brenda's arm while she was showing us her piano performance. Brenda, how many times do I have to tell you? Look at the sheet music properly. But Amber plays like this too. You're different from other kids. I didn't know how to react to witnessing a mother scolding her child right in front of me. I later found out that Brenda's family was known for being very focused on education. Her father is busy with work and I've never met him. Brenda's older brother is said to be attending a famous local elementary school. Because of that, it seems like they have high expectations for Brenda, who is only 4 years old.
I really don't like Brenda's mom.
Recently, my daughter started saying that when we were alone, which has become another concern. I ask her not to say such things in front of others, but I wonder if she's keeping her promise. The thought of her accidentally saying it in front of the person herself never ceases to worry me. The decisive rift between Brenda's mom, named Amanda, and me came about 3 months after being invited to their house. Wow, you're the finale? That's amazing! At my daughter's first recital, Amber was chosen as the finale. I was honestly surprised since last year the most skilled child was chosen. While my daughter isn't particularly skilled in terms of technique, perhaps our family's educational philosophy worked, as she genuinely enjoys playing the piano. Maybe the teacher sees that too, I thought. But of course, there are people who wouldn't appreciate that. Excuse me, what's going on here? As I went to pick up my daughter from the music school, I heard a shrill scream from inside the classroom. I put my daughter in the car, planning to leave quickly, but when I was about to get in, I locked eyes with Brenda's mom, who stormed out of the classroom. She was glaring at me with an incredibly fierce expression. Thinking it might leave bad blood if I just left, I told my daughter to wait and went into the classroom. What's all the commotion? None of your business. Make your daughter withdraw from the recital right now. Holding my ringing ears, I listened to the teacher's explanation. As I feared, there was a complaint about the recital program, and she was furious that the finale wasn't changed to Brenda instead of Amber. As a professional musician, I'd like to say there are no bad people among those who love music. But realistically, there are people like her who only think about using their daughters for their own self-promotion. Teacher, my daughter and I were fine with it, so please let Brenda take her spot. In reality, Amber seemed satisfied just being able to play. She didn't seem to understand the order of the performances. However, it seems that saying, let her take our spot, was a bad move. Instead of calming the situation, Amanda became even more furious. What? My daughter was the one who gave your daughter her spot. You got it all wrong. Don't misunderstand. I'm sorry. As I apologized with fear in my voice, Amanda's anger gradually subsided. She seemed to feel superior as I bowed my head in apology. Well, fine. But honestly, your daughter's performance sounds like noise, doesn't it? I'm helping you avoid embarrassment at the recital, so be grateful. It bothered me that she insulted my daughter, but I kept quiet as arguing would only prolong the issue. Whether it was the right decision or not, she became even more smug. Actually, you should be stricter with your daughter's guidance. Music isn't something to take lightly. You can't be lenient just because you're an amateur. Parents should study music diligently and teach their children. Right, sorry, but I need to get back to my daughter. Oh, and teacher, we really are fine with any changes to the program. With that, I hurried back to the car. Luckily, my daughter was in a good mood, waiting while looking at her smartphone. Hey, there's been a change in the order for the recital. Is that okay with you?
Huh? Isn't the recital where we all play the piano together?
My daughter's carefree attitude gave me a headache, but at least Amanda shouldn't have any more complaints. My daughter didn't seem to care and everything should be resolved. Indeed, the day of the recital arrived without any further issues. Aw, I wish I could go watch. It can't be helped, you have to work. My husband, who had a sudden work commitment and couldn't attend, looked genuinely disappointed. We agreed to meet up after work, and I took my daughter to the recital venue by train. Despite it being her first time performing in front of people, there wasn't a trace of nervousness on Amber's face. It was a carefree attitude inherited from her father, which I found impressive despite her being my own daughter. And when she actually got on stage, my daughter played as if it was just like any other day. Even though she should be playing according to the sheet music, various sounds mixed together creating a strange melody. But she had a beaming smile, as if truly enjoying that her hands were creating sounds. I know I'm a doting parent, but seeing my daughter enjoying the music on stage brings tears to my eyes. In contrast, Brenda's performance was quite different. A rigid piano performance played strictly according to the sheet music. It was an expression that seemed to prioritize not making mistakes over performing well. Every time Brenda missed a note, her face tensed up, making me nervous as I watched. The recital ended successfully, and I took my daughter home from the hall. As we walked to the station to meet up with my husband, I saw Brenda and her family approaching. I didn't want to get involved, but it was too late. My daughter had already called out, "Brenda!" in a loud voice. Thank you. Good job today." "Yeah, thanks." Amanda was clearly in a bad mood. I thought she could at least smile a bit since her daughter had tried her best, but her next words were completely unexpected. "Can you please stop hanging around my daughter?" As I stood there with my mouth agape, Amanda continued. Apparently, she believed that my daughter's influence was the cause of Brenda's numerous mistakes during the recital. Near the fountain of the front station, our daughters were playing happily. Watching from a distance, Amanda spat out the words, "No offense, but my Brenda has talent. Don't you think hanging out with a child who plays piano just for fun could limit her potential?" "That's not true."
Mom, there's a piano over there.
My daughter Amber interrupted my retort as she came running. Looking where she pointed, there was a street piano set up, the kind of free piano that anyone can play, often found in airports or large train stations. Upon seeing it, Amanda's eyes changed and she called Brenda over. "Brenda, play that piano again." It seemed she intended to have Brenda play the same piece she performed at the recital right here. Dragging her clearly reluctant daughter by the hand, Amanda stood in front of the piano. Though Brenda didn't want to, she reluctantly started playing. "No, do it again. You messed up again, start from the beginning. How many times do I have to tell you, look at the sheet music properly?" Amanda repeatedly ordered Brenda to start over, drawing stares from passerby. Tears even welled up in Brenda's eyes. I couldn't stand by to watch any longer. It was bad for Amber's upbringing, and more importantly, I thought it was disrespectful to the music we loved. "Please stop, Amanda. You should respect Brenda more." Amanda looked at me with a stunned expression for a moment as I stepped in. Then, her face turned bright red in no time. She stomped her foot and yelled at me, trying to intimidate me. "What are you talking about? If you don't discipline children strictly, they won't succeed in music. This is tough love." "It may be true, but you're going too far. What will you do if Brenda ends up hating music?" Amanda glared at me with such intensity that I worried her blood vessels might burst. However, she seemed to back down a bit when she noticed the crowd had gathered, drawn by the commotion. Brenda and Amber stood there with blank expressions, unsure of what to do. Eventually, Amanda seemed to come up with an idea and smirked maliciously. "Since you're so preachy, you must be great at the piano, right? Well, there's a piano here. Go ahead and play." I was bewildered by her sudden change in proposal. However, Amanda continued, looking around and loudly announcing, "This person is going to perform for us now." As a result, nearly 20 spectators had gathered, wondering what was happening. "Come on, don't be shy. Oh, I know. Should I play first?" With that, Amanda played a famous classical piece on the piano while standing. Indeed, she seemed to be at a decent level, as she said to Brenda. As an amateur, at least. Finishing her performance, Amanda turned around with a smug look, puffing her nostrils. I decided to go with a strategy of flattery just in case. "Wow, you're so good. You're really talented and played very well." However, my obvious flattery didn't work and Amanda glared at me. I've never been good at flattery. Reluctantly, I sat down at the keyboard. It's been a while since I performed in front of others, so I'm a little nervous. As I checked the tuning by hitting a few random keys, a mocking laugh came from behind. "Pfft, if you can't do it, just apologize already." "Auntie." Brenda looked at me with worried eyes. That's right. For her sake, I have to play the piano now. As a music professional, I can't ignore a child who's starting to hate music. I smiled at Brenda and began to play the first note. Ah, this song. First, I played the song Brenda had performed at the concert following the sheet music. Then, I changed the tempo a bit and arranged it. I added more notes and tried to create an arrangement that suited the street setting. As I did, the people who had been watching from afar gradually moved closer, and the atmosphere heated up. What? What is this? Wow, she's so good. Really, she's on a completely different level from the other person. Thinking it wouldn't be good to play for too long, I tried to wrap up the performance, but my daughter came running over.
Mom, play that song, please, please.
The song Amber requested was a popular anime song for children. Well, a little more should be fine. I seamlessly transitioned from Brenda's assigned song to the anime song, so smoothly that you couldn't tell where one ended and the other one began. It was a huge hit anime, and it seemed like all the spectators knew it. As the chorus approached, applause naturally started. Ah, it's been a while, but music is really wonderful. Then, a man emerged from the audience and joined in with his violin for a session.
Ah, Dad!
When I heard a familiar piano sound, I saw you guys having fun. Let me join in. Amber joined in on the piano, and before we knew it, we were having a family jam session. From anime songs to famous pop, from pop back to classical, and then once more to anime songs. When we finished our performance on a high note, we received thunderous applause from more people than I could count. In the back, I could see Amanda pulling Brenda's arm and running away. Before I could call out to them, they disappeared from sight. After that, Brenda ended up quitting piano lessons. But according to Amber, she's been seen playing the piano at kindergarten more often. As long as she didn't end up hating music, I guess it's not too bad. Amber is growing up nicely and loving music. My husband's job is going incredibly well. And as for me, I ended up returning to my performing career sooner than I expected. That day, someone in the audience filmed me playing the street piano and it went insanely viral on social media. Thanks to that, I've been swamped with work, juggling my busy life with help from my parents. By the way, I haven't spoken to Amanda since the day of the concert. Every time she sees my face, she turns away and leaves. I don't want to fight with her since she's the parent of my daughter's friend. Well, as long as our daughters get along, maybe that's all that matters.